I didn't know a whole lot about the alternatives. I just knew that they were there and there were possibilities, and there was something I was going to look into.
Right.
And of course, I was lucky to have Michelle as a friend, so she's already an expert on health and nutrition and the raw foods lifestyle, so she was definitely a lot of help. So Michelle brings in this green smoothie, so I drink it, and I swear within 10 minutes of drinking it, it felt like I drank a jug full of coffee, at least a dozen cups of coffee. I mean, I felt like this caffeine rush. My body started shaking. I had all this nervous energy, not in a bad way. It felt really good.
Right, it was life.
Yeah,
You're putting life in your body.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was just total energy, and I had to get out of bed. I couldn't sit still. And I asked the nurse for a portable oxygen tank because I had to walk around. They said, I asked if I was okay if I was allowed to walk around the hospital, and she looked at me like I was crazy, and she's like, yeah, it's okay, but nobody ever does. And I guess, you know, just in seeing the other people in the other rooms, yeah, people are basically just waiting there to, you know, either get out or die like I was doing, and nobody took the initiative to get up and get themselves moving. So they got me a portable oxygen tank, and here I am, you know, dragging my oxygen tank. I'm like, I look like a bag of bones. I have actually no muscle on me, like, because I hadn't been eating properly because of the fluid buildup. I had no appetite, so my body was completely wasting away. I think this will kind of give you an idea of how bad it was. When I went into the emergency room, they weighed me at 195 pounds. The day after, they drained all the fluid out of my body, and they didn't even take all of it. They only took most of it, just so they get my body working semi-normally again. They weighed me, and I was 150 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, they took 45 pounds of fluid out of my body.
Wow.
And at normal weight, I'm like 175 to 180. So I did lose a lot of weight.
Right.
So I was just a bag of bones. I was just skin and bones, and I'm here I got my little hospital gown on, my little slippers on, and I'm dragging an oxygen bottle around the hospital. And everybody who saw me, doctors, nurses, patients, visitors, all looked at me like I had just escaped the psychiatric ward, because apparently nobody does this in a hospital. But that's the effect. Just one smoothie on a completely devastated body. I knew, my first instinct when I was diagnosed with cancer was, don't do chemotherapy, don't do radiation, don't do anything that they want me to do, because I had heard and seen all the horror stories. And like I mentioned earlier, I knew some people, some friends and family that had healed themselves naturally without the, mainstream cures for cancer. And so I knew that was an option. So, of course, that's what I decided to do halfway through my stay. I decided I was going to do things naturally. Unfortunately, and I understand why, but I got a lot of peer pressure from my family to do the chemotherapy, and of course I caved into their wishes and went against my better judgment. And I did do one session of chemotherapy the last day before I got out of the hospital, and that's what actually sealed it for me. I never wanted to do it again, because they, as soon as they rolled the IV bags, they give it to you intravenously through an IV, and every one of the IV bags had a large orange hazardous material sticker, kind of like on the highway trucks you see disposing of toxic waste.
Right.
So that scared the hell out of me, and that actually scared me more than having the cancer. But I still went through with it anyway, kind of to appease my family. But at this point, I still had the nagging down. Well, what if I'm making the wrong choice of not doing it?
Right.
But after that, I decided never again. I told the doctors right away, I'm not doing this anymore, and they were actually kind of supportive. They weren't as upset as I thought they were going to be. But that's what I decided to do, and from then on, talking to Michelle and some other people I know who are knowledgeable about nutrition and health, I completely changed my diet. No refined sugar, no processed foods whatsoever, no dairy products of any kind, no red meat or pork. I still did eat a little bit of turkey, fish, or chicken, but very little. Bulk of my diet was raw fruits and vegetables, seeds, nuts, a little bit of cooked food here and there, and a little bit of meat here and there. And the green smoothie every single day.
Right.
Green. If I can stress nothing else, that green smoothie is amazing.
That's like the healing elixir.
And I could get out of bed without getting a massive headache or puking my guts out. I got right on a bicycle and started riding every day, walking as much as I could.
Right, lots of exercise.
Lots of exercise, getting outside in the sun. Yeah, and then I got myself on this this diet, and it's not that hard to change. Especially, I mean, in my case, it was different. I had a pretty big motorbike.
Right.
It was either do that or do or die. It was basically, literally, it was do or die. So it was pretty easy for me to make the change. And I'm not going to say it's easy for everybody, but for me, in my case, I was lucky. It was very easy. And to be honest with you, I've heard this before, and I was surprised that I read it prior to getting sick, but cancer is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me because it's forced me to make the change that it's transformed my life completely. I feel like I've never felt before in my life.
Right.
So
it's been like a blessing.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blessing. It's not been a curse, you know?
Right. It's basically a wake-up call.
Yeah, it was definitely a wake-up call.
Well, now we are, how many months later since you've been diagnosed cancer-free?
Let's see, June, July, August. It's been 4 months. Another 4 months. And
Absolutely.
I'm still going strong.
Right.
Haven't gone back on my diet. Haven't. You know, the first couple of months I did have cravings here and there for like sweets and cakes and candy and ice cream and all this stuff that I used to love, like cheesesteaks. I was always craving a good cheesesteak, but now I don't even. I drive by a pizza shop or, you know, a steak place, and it's like, meh. You know, over the last few months, I'd still, every once in a while, get a craving, oh, I could go for some grilled chicken or, you know, a nice piece of fish or something like that. But last few weeks, I haven't had any craving for it, so I haven't bothered to buy anything or eat anything. So.
Great. And now, what are you doing with yourself nowadays?
Looking for a new job. Other than that, no, just trying to, you know, stay fit, stay healthy, keep going where I'm going.
Right,
I don't want the cancer to come back. Yeah, like, I mean, and I feel so good. And it's not even so much I don't want the cancer to come back. I just love the way I feel now that I just want to keep it going.
Right.
You know,
so it's like a lifestyle rather than a diet.
Absolutely. Oh, it's not. I don't see it as a diet at all.
Right.
And I don't feel like I'm depriving myself of anything.
Right.
You know, I can go out and buy anything I want and eat it. It's just I make good choices. That's all. It's going to be me. You know, I'm not going to go. You know, when it's my time to go, I'm going out standing on my feet. I'm not going to, you know, go out staying in bed and you know, feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to fight till the end.
Right.
And you know,
and that's why you're
miraculously, it's not the end. It's never the end. You know, it's more like a new beginning for me.
Here are some before photos of Rich.
This is when I was in the hospital. This is like the day after they told me I had cancer. After one session of chemo, within a week of getting out of the hospital, all my hair started falling out. So here's me, post-chemo baldness. I look a little healthier there, but I'm still very skinny. Still got the dark circles under my eyes.
And now let's look at you.
And now I look this. I look much better.
Bravo!
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.